Live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. This is the House of the Dragon recap episode 7. Boy, oh boy. Let's just get into it. Hey y'all, look here. I know it's late. I'm late with the House of the Dragon review, coming out with this review, but yo, better late than never. And my review ain't like, I'm recap review, whatever you want to call it, ain't like everybody else's, because I give you insight to make you want to watch that junk. Tell me I know. Well, before we get into it, let's do the usual. Comment, like, subscribe, and share to the Be Real with D Real page. This page right here. So that when you get new material, bam, watch it because you're subscribed. So, very simply put, if you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share the page. Now, episode 7. Wow. That joint opens up with Lena's funeral. Dear sister got incinerated by her own dragon. What's it called? Rhaegar. She got incinerated by her own dragon because she was, I guess the baby was breached and they didn't have any means to unbreach it. And she didn't want to go out like no sucker, I guess was my thought process. But anyway, Damon kind of chuckles at the funeral. I don't know if that was a crazy, I'm off my rocker Targaryen reflex, or if that was his way of grieving. Okay. And Damon kind of stuck around. You know, he kind of hung around, and it's a good thing Damon did hang around because he was needed later on. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Crazy, and deranged as Damon appears to be, I like him. I like the man because he ain't no punk. He ain't got no problem saying what needs to be said or doing what needs to be done and don't care what nobody think about it. That's how you should live life, period. If Daemon Targaryen is a good role model, minus the incest and murder, he's not a good person. I'm not saying that. But who the hell is on that show? Seems like the Targaryens are nothing but corrupt, weird, strange, savage murderers is what I'm getting out of it. They just happen to have dragons. If they didn't have dragons, they'd just be a group of incestuous people with white hair. But after she's dropped into the sea, and I thought that was kind of an interesting parallel. Whereas the Targaryens burn up their deceased, the Valerians drop theirs in the water, fire and water. That was interesting. I thought that was interesting, and the story continues to develop in terms of what the origin of Rhaenyra's children is. The 2 children she got that don't have white hair. It's obvious. And I think it's Aemon or Aegon who ends up saying it like towards the end of the episode. Everybody knows it. Yes, everybody does know it. It's pretty darn obvious. But Rhaenys, Corlys's wife, I think that's her name, Rhaenys, isn't happy because she's lost a daughter, and her children have lost a mother, and her brother has lost a sister. And I don't know what was going on with Laenor, where he went out into the water. Was he going to try to drown himself? Was he, and Corlys was like, go out there and get your patron. To me, that just kind of translated into, go get that fool. He's out there tripping. He's embarrassing the hell out of me. Go get that fool. And that was essentially it. And then him and Rhaenyra kind of sat down and had a little talk and was like, bruh, you got to get it together, And then the whole time during the wake, was what that was. Daemon and Rhaenyra are kind of making eye contact, but the fact that they're making eye contact doesn't go unnoticed by Alicent Hightower and her daddy, Otto, the scheming bastard Hightower, who is now once again the hand of the weak, leprous King Viserys. But he wasn't weak when it came down to people speaking. But we get to that too. Dragons. We got to see dragons. A few dragons. And Aemond was able to woo Rhaegar to his side. He got a dragon, a big-ass dragon. That is a far cry from the pig with wings that he had in the previous episode. But he's got the big dragon now. Vhagar, I keep saying Vhagar. He's got the big dragon now. And strategically, that figures well for Alicent Hightower and Otto Hightower and Aemon and Aegon. Maybe not so much for Rhaenyra. And she says so when she finally gets a chance to speak with Daemon and they walking on the beach. And I knew it. Y'all knew it. Everybody watching the episode knew it. They was gonna smash. And they did. And I think personally it's a strategic move on Rhaenyra's part. First, to give him the good because she already know he wanted it. And to sire a child and to win him over to her side so that she can have the warrior of the hero of the battle of Driftmark. Yeah, that's she's learned her lessons well, and that I think was a high point in the show, at least for me, because I'm like, it's first, number one, it's about damn time that those two got together. And then number two, they're the real power couple on this show, or at least they will be the new power couple on this show. But I think since House of the Dragon has been renewed for a second season, we're going to probably not see the finale that we think we're going to see. I mean, it's going to be a finale, and the producers of that show know from the last season of Game of Thrones, last episode, y'all gonna have to put some stank on the anime. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna have to bring the funk like your grandpa's feet in this last episode. I mean, it's 10. We moving to 8, but I'm just saying it's 8, 9, 10. We got 3 episodes left, and it better be something special. That's all I'm saying. Now, more highlights. The children. Oh my God, the children. Laena, Rhaenyra, and Alicent's children all got into a fight shortly after Aemon got Vhagar and was riding him, and now the dragon's like, I'm gonna roll with you now. And they was like, that's supposed to be my sister's dragon. Well, it ain't your sister's dragon now. And they got into a fight that was uglier than some of the adult fights that I've seen going down. And I mean, my man was picking up rocks and busting people across their dome with it. He was socking the twins like, bam, these girls in dresses. And he was hitting them like, bomb, bomb, and dropping them. And I'm like, okay, ain't no chivalry in the House Targaryen. And eventually, one of Rhaegar's sons, one of Rhaenyra's sons, takes an eye. And I could not help but think when it happened. And y'all can't say y'all didn't either. You wasn't thinking it's all fun and games. Yeah, until somebody loses an eye, right? That was the very first thing popped in my head, like. And then they're all, in front of the king and they mamas and they daddies, and they're like, what in the fuck was y'all doing? And then that's when it gets down to everybody talking about the question of Rhaenyra's children. And Viserys is the only one that don't know, or the only one that pretend like he don't know that his daughter is a hoe. Yes, she's a hoe. Well, I ain't gonna say she's a hoe. I say she's promiscuous. Clearly. But I mean, you married to a man who like women, so you gotta get, you married to a man who likes men, so you gotta get your jolly some kind of way, I guess. But it's just like, yo, does it have to go down like that? Bottom line, though, King Viserys, surprisingly, in this argument, took his daughter's side and not the queen's side. And that bitch lost it. She tried to stab Rhaenyra. They went from homies to unstable relationship to not liking each other to I want to kill you, bitch. I'm like, wow, okay, House of the Dragon, I see y'all. And what I tell you, did not call it. She went full Cersei. She went full Cersei on her, bruh. Watch out for that one. She get ready to be a whole problem. And from what I can see from the previews of next week's episode, yes, she's going to be a total problem. Her and her punk ass daddy. I do not like Otto Hightower. I don't know why. I just don't like that guy. He's a schemer. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat him. Cause see, I'm used to Game of Thrones with Stark. When he was, the first season, when he was the Hand of the King, and I'm just like, Hand of the King don't give a damn. And then the hand that got burnt up, and this is what we got. And then that snaky motherfucker, you gonna kill your brother and your daddy just to jockey for position. But I guess that's how it was, in times like that, in worlds like that. So I got to come up some kind of way because I'm a weak, limp, non-fighting mug. So I got to get power some kind of way. So everybody, he's kind of the little finger roll. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a schemer than a fighter. And so that's what he does. He connives and he schemes. So I'm like, that's what he do. I just hope somebody shoves something somewhere on him to where he gets his comeuppance, because he has no scruples. That cat is foul. And I think Allison is kind of starting to see it too, because he's like, my queen, I can have some more mugs for you if you need me. Oh, that won't be necessary. You got a murder tender. He's like the Jeffrey Dahmer of Westeros. But anywho, that was the semi highlight of that episode. The highlight to me was Rhaenyra and Daemon consummating their relationship. Because Daemon was down. I mean, he was always down, but he was just like, she was too young at the time. I wanted to get with you, but she was too young. And then when that shit went down with Allison tried to go at her, or because first the queen was going to send Tristan to take Rhaenyra's son's eye, who took her son's eye. And then that's when Daemon stepped in, was like, hold up. You know, Daemon, I want to see Daemon and Kristen square off. You know what I mean? Because Damon's a fighter and Kristen has seen action, but I don't know if he done seen action like Damon does seen action. We see how Damon get down. We just heard about how Kristen gets down. So if those two go at it, I hope Damon cuts him off and drags his torso somewhere, you know, and deals with him, because Kristen went from eye to just like a total dick. But like I said, the highlight of that episode was the consummation of Rhaenyra and Damon's relationship. They went out on the beach. They went, found them a little spot, smashed, you know what I'm saying? And then later on, she like, we got to get together. And Damon's like, but you married. The only way me and you can get together is if your husband dies. So they come up with an elaborate plan to get rid of Laenor. And what they end up doing is, and it was orchestrated so smooth, you know what I'm saying? Butter. And so Daemon, you know, he throws on his little hoodie, you know, the same hoodie when he killed his other wives. He rolls out in the hoodie and he goes and he talks to Laenor's lover and lets him know, you know, this is what the plan is. But we aren't aware of what the plan is when they're talking. Then later, we see Daemon come in the castle and murder a servant. Then later on, we see Laenor's lover come in while Laenor and his kid are in the room, and he whips out his sword, and him and Laenor are going at it. And the little kid's like, I'm gonna go get the guards. And when they get the guards, they see this motherfucker shoved in the fire with his face, you know, facial features burned beyond comprehension. But he's got on Laenor's clothes. So, oh my God, Rhaenys comes in, she's freaking out. Oh, I done lost another child. Oh my Lord Jesus. And Corlys is trying to comfort her. She's like, get your ass away from me. And she's depressed. Then we see a scene. It's put in simultaneously with the marriage between Daemon and Rhaenyra. And because they are getting married, while they're getting married, you know, they're doing through the little ceremony and whatnot, we see a scene of someone rowing out to a boat. As we come in closer, we see that person is Laenor with his hair cut, him and his lover rowing out to the boat to go to lands unknown, so don't nobody ever find them again. So it was the servant that they put in the fire. Clever, clever, clever. It seems like that these eps are building. They're building up to something, and we want to see what it's going to build up to. Dragon fights. That's what it's going to build up to. Dragon fights. And I'm here for it because it's called House of the Dragon. So, damn it, I need more dragon shit going on. Please and thank you. This has been my recap of House of the Dragon, episode 7. If there is something in that episode y'all thought was significant that I needed to cover, because I know I ain't 100% covered everything, I covered the stuff that I thought was prominent in that episode and needed to be spoken on. You know, other than the king and Alice, I mean the King's Hand and Allison being some dirty bastards and plotting and causing problems and getting checked by Rhaenyra when her fidelity and her ladiness was questioned. Other than that, it's a build-up episode, but it was a lot of moments in there. Look here, y'all. That's it for me for this one. Y'all join me next week when we recap that episode 8. I'm sure there's going to be lots of shenanigans going on. But I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, yep, y'all be good. Be good to each other.